They had like 5 or 6 bodies stacked up like a cord of wood. And to them, just another body to pick up and put in the behind the truck. And I'm like, that's my grandmother that they're putting in there. And it really upset me, but it's just sad to see that she was in there with all those bodies.
그때의 손녀는 이제 노인이 되었지만 24년 전의 악몽은 그녀 마음속에 여전히 생생하게 남아 있습니다. 1995년 세상을 떠난 그녀의 할머니는 그해 여름 시카고에서 폭염으로 사망한 739명 중 한 명이었습니다. 미 중서부 최대 도시 시카고. 95년 폭염의 흔적은 이제 사라졌지만 재난의 상처는 시민들 마음속에 깊숙이 자리하고 있었습니다. 당시 폭염으로 할머니를 잃은 발레리 브라운은 1995년 7월의 아침을 선명하게 기억하고 있었습니다.
That night, I remember it was so hot. And I had my bed next to a window and I could get a breeze, but it was just stifling. And so then I woke up in the morning. It was still a little bit hot, but I thought to call my grandmother. And I called, rang and rang and rang. She didn't answer the phone. Then I drove down here. And I knocked on the door and everything. But
모든 창문이 굳게 잠겨 있었던 집안은 달궈진 오븐처럼 뜨거웠습니다.
She went downstairs and she opened the door. She called me and told me Grandma's gone.
할머니를 떠나보냈던 슬픔 속에서 그녀는 이것이 개인의 비극이 아니라는 것을 목격했습니다.
I remember when I drove back here, there was an ambulance sitting right out here. They already had bodies in the ambulance. They had like 5 or 6 bodies stacked up like a cord of wood. And to them, you know, just another body to pick up and put in the behind the truck. And I'm like, that's my grandmother that they're putting in there. And it really upset me. But
1995년 7월 12일 시카고. 최고 기온 41도를 넘는 폭염은 닷새 동안 이어졌습니다. 일주일이 채 안 되는 기간 동안 700명이 넘는 사망자가 발생했습니다. 쿡카운티 시체안치소는 폭염 사망자들의 시신으로 순식간에 가득 찼습니다. 시신을 둘 곳이 없어 냉동 트럭까지 동원됐습니다.
Yeah, there were a number of bodies in the truck. Like I said, it was like a cord of wood, you know, when someone chops wood and they stack them up. Well, that's how they stacked up the bodies. Because, I mean, they couldn't just take each individual body to the morgue.
The summer of 1995 was actually not a surprisingly hot summer for Chicago. The heat wave was very short duration, isolated event, so it was only a few days of extreme heat that caused the damage.
But as Liz was saying, one of the biggest challenges for the heat-related mortality issue is that was the lower-income people without access to air conditioning that really were affected, and that describes most of the population of the world. One of the things that happened, or one of the things that you hear about the 95 heat wave is that some parts of Chicago where people didn't have air conditioning, they also had quite a lot of crime, and so people wouldn't even open their windows because they were worried about crime. Now this is a story that you hear about some of the people who died, that they were in just rooms with their windows closed and no air conditioning.
누가 폭염에 취약한가라는 질문 속에서 시카고 출신 사회학자 에릭 클라이넨버그는 폭염 피해와 사회적 요인의 상관관계를 추적했습니다. 시카고 시내에서 서쪽으로 8km 떨어진 론데이 지역. 도로 하나를 두고 북부와 남부로 나뉜 이 지역의 폭염 피해는 매우 이상했습니다. 남부 론데이 지역의 사망자가 3명이었던 것과는 달리 북부 지역의 사망자는 6배가 넘는 19명이었던 것입니다. 우리는 론데이 지역 우버 드라이버에게서 자세한 이야기를 들을 수 있었습니다.
This is North London. Development used to be torn down. There wasn't anything in there. They're going to build medical centers.
Yeah.
They're going to build training centers. They got housing. There's nothing here.
Right, I can see.
One street changed everything.
Only one street.
One street changed.
Yeah.
See, it's changing. Now you're into Hispanics. Now, this is one of the premier commercial strips. This is a very strong economic corridor.
But how north? How was it north?
It's not as strong, no.
Okay.
It's not as strong.
인접한 두 지역의 사회적 차이가 재난 피해에 엄청난 차이를 만들어냈습니다.
One reason why it's important to focus on where those deaths might have occurred, or not just the deaths, but also other health problems. If you make that association that it was actually low income, or people who couldn't afford to run their air conditioners or to buy an air conditioner, that's when the policies that you need to respond to it start to become clearer.
Yeah.
빈곤, 범죄, 무너진 공동체. 시카고 폭염은 사회 안전망으로부터 멀어진 이들에게 유독 잔혹했습니다. 시카고 도심에서 멀리 떨어진 곳에 위치한 한 공동묘지. 이곳에는 폭염 속에 외롭게 죽어간 무연고 사망자들이 묻혀 있습니다.
List of those who died
Died
alone.
alone. They were also unclaimed victims at that time too. Yeah, people claim they must have claimed the other ones that went. These were just the ones that were not. Well, no family who died alone.
All along here. Yep. Because we have people here.
Here?
So it would I would say
Right.
right. So I would say if they did, they're probably all back here.
From here to
Yep.
there.
Yes. That's why the monument is so big.
아무도 찾지 않는 이들이 묻힌 아무도 찾지 않는 비극. 그것은 어쩌면 우리가 마주할 오래된 미래일지도 모릅니다.
The meteorological conditions of 1995 could very definitely be repeated. We, in fact, anticipate they will be because they have been in the past.
Within countries, that gap is widening a lot more. And that's exactly the thing that we should be worried about for a lot of these impacts. And it's not just heat, and not just heat and health, but also the other effects of temperatures as they're changed by climate change, and natural disasters and other effects that we see really do focus on more vulnerable people. Are we okay with people falling behind on income, on the income dimension? We're also exposed to more risks in general. Is that a type of society that we want to live in? And the answer that I would feel is probably no, and I think that's something that we should all be asking ourselves.